Hello, my most amazing artists. I am so glad that you checked out our art video for today. So if you're looking right back here, you see all of these. What are those? Lines. Yes, we're going to do a project with lines today. And we're going to use a variety, not just one kind, not just one length, a variety of lines to create an abstract artwork. Your supplies for today: a blank white sheet of paper. You will need crayons, and broken ones will be great for this because we will be drawing very waxy. You will need your paint tray. You will need a paintbrush and a cup of water. I'm so excited because this is our first time painting. Let's get started. Okay, for the project you need a blank sheet of paper and some crayons. And all we're gonna do, guys, is make some amazing lines. Your lines can be thick, they can be thin. You're just gonna decide where they go and draw from one side of your paper to another. I did a zigzag line, a blue, wavy like the hills. I did a thin horizontal line, and now I'm doing a purple thick diagonal line. So as you see, I move my paper as I work. I'm gonna do a yellow dotted line, and notice I'm taking my time and I'm coloring in really hard. You're gonna wanna make sure that it's nice and waxy, and I actually break a couple of crayons while I'm doing this, and it's okay because the crayons will still work. So make sure that you're pressing down really hard, and if you need to take a hand shakeout break, you can totally do that, because the harder that you color for this project, the better. Because when we go to paint, we don't want the paint to cover up those lines. We want to make sure that our lines are nice and waxy so the paint can't go through them. That's what makes it a crayon resist painting. All right, so again, as I work, I'm constantly turning my paper and seeing where I can fit those lines at. I have now used a spiral line, a vertical line, a wavy like the ocean line, even though it is upside down. And I am just filling my space. I'll let you in on a little secret. The bigger you draw, the less work you have to do. And now I'm coloring with a white. Let's see what special surprise is going to happen whenever we do that with paint. Now that our paper's filled, we're ready to paint. So you're going to need your water cup and your paint tray. What you're going to do, because these are watercolors, you're going to dip your paintbrush into the water, and then you're going to carefully roll it around the color that you want. You have to have a decent amount of water for it to work, but you don't want too much because then you can mess up your paint tray. As you switch colors, it's going to be really important for you to clean your brush off. Secondly, as you paint, you want to hold your paintbrush like you do your pencil, your crayon, your marker. You want to hold it at the right spot and take your time. Make sure you're not pressing down Mr. Brush's hair too much, because then you could give him a bad hair day and then he won't be able to do the best job ever for you. So take your time. Paint in your sections. You can overlap the colors if you want, but let's keep our paint tray nice and clean as we paint. Notice as I work too, I'm gonna keep turning my paper so it's easy for me to paint, okay? Again, I carefully swirl my brush around that paint, making sure it stays in the paint tray only, and then I just give it a small dip in the water whenever I need some. If you want to have a darker color, you use less water. If you want your color to be really light, then you use more water. But again, we don't want huge puddles in the paint tray, because then it would take it a very long time for it to dry, and it could like mix with the other ones, and we want to keep our paint tray nice and neat. Some mistakes will happen, but we just want to make sure that we're taking our time as we do this. Also, make sure that you're trying to paint in one direction. You can switch it up every now and then, or I guess what I mean to say is make sure that you're just pulling Mr. Brush's hair down the right way and we're not smashing it from the top, because we don't like when people mess up our hair, and if we mess up Mr. Brush's hair, like I said, he won't do the very best painting job. And then you just fill in all the spots, and look what's happening to that white crayon. White doesn't normally show up on white, but whenever you get to add some watercolor in there, you get a little surprise, and then ta-da, a finished abstract artwork. All right, guys, that's it. So we used crayons to make nice waxy lines, and then we used watercolor paint to paint inside of it. What an amazing abstract artwork you have. Don't forget that whenever you're painting, okay, we want to make sure that we're holding our paintbrush right here at the bottom, kind of like you would your pencil or your marker. Whenever you're painting or going to get paint on your paint trays, you want to make sure that you are moving in that small circle so we don't mix all of our paints up. And make sure whenever we clean our brush and we're switching, that you gently press and tickle Mr. Brush's hair on the bottom. I cannot wait to see your amazing abstract artworks. Make sure you upload it, and I will see you later. Bye.